stop writing.
Hello and welcome to Odyssey of Eternity. I'm DM Kenneth, and this is Ravenloft, Darkness of Sossal. Last we left off, our party spent a few days helping out a frost druid stranded in her home in the middle of an orchard and pumpkin patch. Some dark magic had been corrupted, and a powerful void had been used against her, corrupting her guardians. They attacked her and left her in her home to die. However, something powerful intervened, and you guys came along and found her before she perished in the cold. Through trial and error, in the best terminology, you guys were able to... Okay, you're going to have to get rid of that fly again.
The fly is back. The fly is back.
Through trial and error, you guys were able to figure out how to defeat the majority of the runes in the area, thwarting the guardians, and bringing calm back to the farm. She thanked you profusely, giving you guys a bushel of apples that confer cold resistance. And each one gives 2d6 temp HP and cold resistance for the duration of the temp HP. So as long as the temp HP is there, you have cold resistance. She gave you roughly 12 of these. By the way, tonight's music is brought to us by Sirenscape. Not an official sponsor, but we would love if they were. Alright, so you remember that your goal before all of this happened is that you were heading to the coast, to the Sea of Moving Mists, to find the court of the Winter Fae that you were invited to. This is where you've been making your journey. Got a little sidetracked by side quests, but that is okay, as it netted you a level.
Before we leave, I need to ask the druid for a couple of things.
Yes.
I will send it over to you. This would be something I would like to pull aside and
Okay.
ask her for, and I'll send it over to you. It's nothing crazy.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Outside of that,
Actually, can I ask her something on the side as well?
Yes.
Because I kind of forgot, and since I have a chance, why not?
I mean, now I feel obligated to have a side chat with the druid. Everyone
Get
gets
her
a side
name! Get her name!
I'm gonna
That
give
is
her a
something-
friendship bracelet.
That is something that Verne will ask in the open is, what is her name? Because we never asked her.
Yes, it's quite polite of you after our third meeting to finally ask my name. It is Leslie. Leslie Goldtrotter.
Well, it's very nice meeting you. Finally learning your name.
You're very welcome. You know, manners go a long way, even in a place that tries killing you.
Yes, yes.
I think that we've all learned that friendship is magic.
Friendship can be magic, yes.
Ken, did we get the effect of a long rest on leveling up?
You did, yes.
Okay.
And she was allowing you to rest here for the night as well.
Gotcha. I had forgotten to hit long
to get the technically official long rest.
Upon the end of the long rest, everyone would notice that Verne is now very much trying to be even more open about the symbol of the Raven Queen, and any of the corvid feathers that they have are now put in positions where they will be seen. As symbols of my faith to the Raven Queen.
Okay.
For you DM, that is me basically saying, "Hey, I took my first level of cleric."
No, you're totally good.
Also, when I get to higher levels, good luck ever critting again.
Oh, we'll see. We still have 6 levels for that.
True. No, 5. Because it's at 6th level that the cleric
Regardless, I
takes
still
it.
have quite a few bit of time to prepare.
You have some time, yes.
Uh, let's see.
Also, as I'm now a grave cleric, I get to use the best cleric words ever. Do you trust me? Do you trust me? Yes. I'll heal you more if you're unconscious at 0 hit points.
This is a fact, and it's very hard to get people to do that. Um, on Monday's game, it's very hard to get people to go unconscious. They get healed.
Mhm. See, here's the thing that people don't understand: is I can just knock you out unconscious with unlethal, because that still brings you to 0 hit points. It just makes sure you don't have death saves.
True.
Vita, check your messages. As she responds back to you.
I got it.
Okay. You get the feeling that she's not necessarily aware of that connection yet. That it might be a sort of a watching relationship.
At some point in the morning,
Uh,
um, Phelan wanders in, brushing a little dirt and dust off of his clothing. Ah, there everyone is. I seem to have got lost from everyone in the orchard.
Well, yeah, you kind of put yourself in the stone. How comfy was that stone, by the way?
Wow, it's like a warm blood.
Yes, you were in a pudding stone that time.
So are you recreating the whole literal context of dirt nap?
Alright, so what would you guys like to do first and foremost?
Well, we should be heading out.
Are we gonna check in on that dragon before we head to the fort?
I don't even remember what we were planning on doing there.
I would prefer to get to the port as soon as possible. There.
I think the dragon was on the way, if I remember correctly. So it's a quick recon for like 150 gold. Unless we kill it, and killing it was something crazier.
Well, we've already accepted the gift from the court. We are obliged to show up there.
You know, it also would be equally on the way back from the court. If you didn't want to go right away into a dragon slayer.
Hey, as long as I don't get eaten again and spit out, I'm good. Whatever, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't really mind where we go, but I have a really important question for Phelan. What are your 3 favorite colors? It's very important.
Hmm. Wow. I think I'm more of a seasonal person. Comes to colors. Kind of gets you in the
Ah,
mood
yes.
for certain things.
That makes sense. I understand. Thank you.
How do you understand that? You asked for 3 colors. How is it seasonal if it's. Never mind. Never mind.
Seasonal colors, like I could do like 4 separate friendship bracelets for him, like one for like autumn,
Okay,
one for
that's the plan. Okay.
or do it in quarters so he can rotate it for whatever season he's feeling, you know?
I like that idea. That sounds really cool.
What
That
season
actually
he's
does sound
failing?
cool.
Yes.
You think he would get tired of the mask and the costumes at this point? I mean, he has to be doing this every single day at this point. The upkeep
You
must be
have
insane.
not noticed him do this every single day.
Oh no, no. Vita thinks that Phelan changing to the different season is a costume.
Okay.
Therefore,
So, where's your plan heading out of this druid's cottage? She lets you stay the night, get to get rested. And then tells you can leave in the morning.
I guess head toward the winter court.
All right. So the trip going through the Arctic forest is grueling, to say the least. The snow at this point at points gets almost up to your waist with how thick it is. Even under the tree cover, this area has seen winter for what appears to be years, maybe even decades. Doesn't look like there's ever been a melt in this area. The trees are thick and heavy, with large icicles coming down. Looks like that almost, if one was to talk too loudly, it might cause a cavalcade of icicles coming crashing down that could possibly end something. Their wicked sharp tips glinting in the blue light that is this eternal twilight of this place. However, the trail is not hard to find. Those looking for the Fae tend to have one of 2 ways of luck about it. Either that of ill luck, never finding the Fae, finding themselves fully lost in their hopeless quest, or if those who have an invitation can find themselves incredibly lucky, finding wonder and journey. And after it seems to be hours of walking, the first day comes and the first day goes. You guys know that you're making good time in the direction of the Sea of Endless Mists. You know that this is still a long journey, but one that you're looking forward to making, to seeing the court of the Winter Fae. Night falls, and who's taking watch? Are you taking watch as you set up your first camp as you guys are traveling?
Yeah, I've got
I'll take
Or
first watch. I'll take first watch with them. And if anyone wants me to put them safely in the ground, I will.
I'll take the last one. I'll thank Phelan and be like, I already was too close to that hole, like being buried somewhere. I'm good for the moment. Thanks for trying to keep us safe, though.
No. Well, anytime. Just ask. Or don't. Don't get don't get distraught if you wake up one morning and need to sit up a little bit.
Need to shed the dust off? Is that what you're saying?
Well, sometimes I do what I think is best.
That is so kind of you to look out for us like that. However, I would like to not do that because I have this secret, really important thing that I'm trying to work on during my watch. So I'll take second watch or whenever. Probably shouldn't be trusted alone for the watch, but I will do second watch.
I love how all of you guys have projects that you want to do, and you guys are fighting over the watches.
Yep.
Verne will take the second watch with Agni.
Yay.
Hmm. That makes it tough for Vita to do the things she's got to do, but I think she'll still try. Lol.
It's all so secretive in this group.
Actually,
Except for me and Phelan. We don't have.
actually, never mind.
Right,
Vita
right.
will work on
I'm
her
not-
embroidery.
Verne is not doing anything, just taking a watch. That is all Verne is doing.
I'm very
That's
obviously
true.
not making friendship bracelets.
Well, actually, it'll be fine. Agni, it's not like it's a huge thing if Agni sees.
Okay. So, I believe it's not Daniel. Numa, you said you were taking first watch. If you could change your name in the chat, that would be perfect. But I believe you said you were taking the first one? Okay.
With Phelan, I believe, said that he would
Yep.
go as well.
I guess it helps if I'm not.
Okay.
So, by the way, I would like to apologize in advance for any sniffling that happens. I'm at the tail end of a cold.
You are totally fine. All right. So Phelan, or not Phelan, Numa. Your first watch. I need a perception check. If you're working on your project, you'll take a -2 to your whatever your score is for perception, as you're not fully aware as you're.
Am I taking the watch with him?
I thought he said he wanted to take it alone, right, Numa?
I did it first, but then then Phelan said that that they wanted to do it with and I don't really have anything to keep from him, so it's fine. So he can see what I'm working on. It's not a big deal. Not bad actually. So it's a natural 14 for a 20, but -2 it'll be an 18.
Okay. So the night comes and goes a bit as you hear cracking. Are you using a fire tonight or no?
I don't need it. I've got dark vision. I don't really need.
Well, it doesn't come down to dark vision. This comes down to temperature.
I think we need a fire for cold. Everyone wants to sleep outdoors, so
Maybe not a big one, but one that we can. I mean, if you want me to roll a survival check, I would, but maybe one that we can build up. But like, I don't remember what they're called to build
just
like
enough.
around it, so it's hidden. What is that called?
You can do a pit fire, just lower, like you would dig a pit.
Yeah, but there's still like warmth and things like
Yeah.
that. Where we try to keep it pretty smokeless.
Absolutely, you can do that.
You want me to roll for that, or I'm proficient.
No, you don't have to. I was just saying, for just describe the scene.
Gotcha.
So the fire crackles. You hear every now and again the hoot of an owl, the howl of a wolf off in the distance, the cracking of a tree in ice. But your watch goes uneventful as things pass. And you go to wake up the next person. Phelan, sitting there with Numa. You don't seem to see anything either.
Okay.
Next watch.
Well, that would be Agni and Verne.
Well, did I see what Numa was working on?
I'll send it to you. I'll tell you what I'm working
Okay.
on.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay.
And Vita will be up.
All right. So Agni and Vita, you guys.
Verne is also there.
Okay, so
Yeah,
the three
Vita
of
is
you.
just the. Is
Unless
the,
we need another watch.
auxiliary.
Do we need a fourth watch?
Well, the two elves take 4 hours by themselves because they don't need the full 4 hours.
Okay. So we only need 3.
Yes, 3 watches.
Okay, that's fine.
Just FYI, Phelan would have put himself into stone, and Numa too, if that's what he wanted.
Okay.
And what did you say to subtract 3?
If you're working on a project, 2.
Yes. Oh, -2. Okay, then I have a 17 because I am working on my project.
Okay.
I am apparently extremely distracted.
What?
With advantage, I rolled a 2 and a 3 for a total of 9.
You fall asleep during this watch.
Do you want me to roll?
If you'd like, you can.
Yeah, it'll be with a -2, but I'll try.
I feel like Verne would be more distracted than
15.
falling asleep. Just lost in their head.
You
Well,
said
you might be
15?
distracted by what I'm about to do. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so the night continues on. Things... I'm sorry. Things are darker at this point. It is the middle of the night. The world tends to get that eerie calm that midnight gets. As it seems like the blanket of quiet comes upon. At one point of the night, I need everyone in the group to make a wisdom saving throw. Except for the people that are in the stone.
22.
Okay.
19.
I'm sleeping.
22.
22, all right. What about you, Telwyn?
I'm sleeping. I don't because I'm unconscious, so I don't know how.
This will be at disadvantage because you're not aware.
Even at disadvantage, I am still at a 17.
All right. So you guys aren't startled as a very large bird smashes through the camp, sort of through, chasing after some prey. You see a rabbit chasing through the snow as this bird crashes through, making a ruckus of noise. You guys wake up grabbing weapons, looking around. Verne, you wake up from your not sleep watch, startled, pulling out your weapons. You just see the bird of prey chasing down the small animal.
Did I see what kind of bird of prey?
It seemed to be some sort of large owl.
Okay.
But not anything like you've ever seen, though, before. This owl had more colorful plumage. in blues, greens, and purples.
Mm.
And you could have sworn that it had 2 sets of eyes.
Pretty.
That's weird.
And I'm gonna go back to trying to focus on what I'm doing.
Okay.
Shall I describe the action that I'm trying to do?
Yeah, absolutely, if you'd like to.
Yeah, sure. Since this is something important to Vita, she would explain that, if you see a large feathered boa-looking thing, don't shoot it. And then she would proceed to, very awkwardly at first, dance. Because dance is an incredibly important part of her family. And she would be using her weapon, and as she would be moving, it would be very obvious that this is a dance where it requires a second partner. And she fumbles through because there is no second partner present. At least so far.
Yeah, this definitely explains why Verne is distracted. Verne would very much be watching this display, confused and kind of in that state of watching something happen where you're not sure if you're
This
supposed
is
to
harder when
help.
you're watching. This is harder when you're watching.
Also trying to be that moment of, oh, was I staring too long? Oh shit. Having those moments of not realizing how long that they were looking for.
Vita would be blushing, and it's hard to tell why. This is harder when you're watching.
So give me a performance check with disadvantage because he's looking.
They.
Yes, sorry.
Oh, almost in that 20. Alright, hold on one more. But I don't think I can do worse than a 4. No, I can't do worse than a 4.
All right. So you, like you say, you stumble through some of the steps as the partner isn't there that you're looking for.
You
But
may have only rolled a 4 on your performance, but I rolled to see, like an insight to see if Verne would really have noticed much. I rolled a nat 1, so the answer is not really.
okay.
Probably fell in the snow a couple times, looking like an idiot.
So as you guys go about, Vita, you're able to stumble through it. It's not like the greatest dance with what you rolled, and they keep looking at you and sort of throwing you off just a little bit. But you are able to do this, and you guys finish and wake up the last person for the watch.
We saw an owl.
Saw Hootie?
Wait, what?
I'm like, that's what one of the little girls in the temple would always come in and talk about the barn owls she saw. She called them Hooties.
Oh.
Yeah, there was a hootie, but no blowfish. Sorry.
Oh my god.
I thought you knew the owl.
No. No. I'm not even sure where I'm at this point. Otherwise, I'm following you guys somewhere. Hoping to get you guys the hell out of here. Make your lives better.
Yeah, you are far, far away from where you are used to, Telwyn. You have. They said back in these times the average person never left 5 miles from the place they were born, and this applies to you. You are leagues beyond where you're from at this point.
Oh yeah, and I can see why.
So you stand up. Is anyone staying up with Telwyn? Or is it just him for this last watch?
I can stay up. Because I also only need 4 hours.
No. Okay.
I need to sleep off my shame.
Verne just needs more sleep.
Alright, so Agni, you get back up.
But
Or you
is
stay up
too
with Telwyn.
Is too embarrassed to say anything to Vita about seeing their dance and how much Verne thought Vita was a good dancer.
Alright.
I'm gonna reach over when Agni offers to stay up and give her a little guidance. She decides to keep watch with me because I feel like she always seems to be a little frustrated with that whole what to look for and how to watch out for things. And
How to stay focused if a butterfly goes by. Yes.
Yeah.
Verne was so distracted by Vita that Verne forgot that they can now cast guidance.
That's funny.
I got a 15 this time.
15, okay. Very good.
And I'm trying really hard to focus on being perceptive because I know that I tend to get a little distracted sometimes. So I'm taking a break from my project to really focus this time. I can't let Telwyn down.
I got a 21.
Okay. So the night goes on. As what passes for dawn starts to rise up through the trees. The snow is coming down as there's quite a fog coming up from between the forest. I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen any like the World War II documentaries where you see the dense forests with the snow and the fog just rolling through. It's a bit eerie. The fire is burned low at this point. Things are visible now. Light's getting brighter. However, it's still odd. Looking around, you see many ravens all around you. They're gathering in the trees.
Verne is immediately intrigued by the sight of the ravens.
I'm sure this in no way will be problematic for us in the future.
Are we seeing this? Are we all awake?
Yeah.
Okay. Say hi, Verne.
I don't think that's how that works.
Well, they want something.
Hey, Ken.
Yes.
Because like I have a little bit of a background in like Sylvan language and kind of from a history aspect of stories, and like they presented themselves as some sort of connection to the Winter Fae, and I might have heard something. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna look at Phelan and Newman and be like, is this kind of like their messengers or their watchers to watch for you or something? Maybe. I read this in some sort of tale when I was young, and that whole like as far as the history of the Fae in the north here, I was always curious how it, I guess, works.
Would I know if this is something to do with the unsilly court or not?
Yeah.
Well, what this is actually called, this is called an unkindness of ravens. I'm
That's
surprised that
crows.
our supposed it's ravens.
Is it ravens? I thought it was crows. No, it's a murder of crows. My bad. I got that mixed up.
So as you can tell, that our ranger doesn't really seem to know much about any of
No,
anything
that was
whatsoever.
Josh, not Verne. That was Josh. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Verne would most definitely know what the plural
Oh,
of
yeah.
ravens are.
Oh, absolutely.
But I'm still giving a shot at him no matter what because that's what I'm playing up to right now. And Barney's
Yeah.
well aware of this
I'm-
conversation.
I'm asking.
Mhm.
I'm asking the DM. Does Phelan know if this is part of the unseelie court or not?
So as you guys start to ponder it, um, these seem like just standard ravens. But as you start to ponder it almost as one, their wings start beating as they all fly out from around you. You see a rain of feathers coming down from the mass exodus of the birds as they fly off. You're left with snow covered in black feathers.
If everyone else would be like kind of ducking away from the ravens and their mass exodus, Verne would be standing tall, kind of like someone like in rain, just like head tilted back a little bit and just soaking in the moment.
Phelan is just sitting there trying to brush off the feathers as they fall out. So uncivilized.
I'll
Yeah.
look over at Verne and be like, well, hey, I guess they left you some more for whatever that is you're trying to wear. Maybe
Verne,
make a cape out of it or
Verne
something.
is already picking up as many raven feathers as they can.
I'm
Be no
picking up,
help.
I'm picking up just two large ones. It's gonna be for part of that project.
Okay. Sounds good to me. So as you guys are finding your way through this, picking up the stuff, you see a blue light flicker in the fog, followed by a purple, followed by a green. All colors you guys know come from the Fey Courts of the Winter Court. Blues, greens, whites, and purples.
Vita will bite her lip.
So I guess this is the way, right?
It is about time.
Well, shall we go, Phelan? I know you're eager to do this. This is gonna be fun.
Of course.
I'll look at Phelan and I'll be like, is there proper etiquette and things that we should follow? Since, you know, when you live in a church your whole life, you don't know, other than little bits and pieces you get to read on how you should present and handle yourself in specific.
Well,
Yes.
my advice: don't tell anybody to shut up. That's a really good one. Be respectful, which I think you already know that because you're a pretty respectful guy, from what I've gathered of you so far. And if when in doubt, just copy Phelan.
Phelan will just say, of course there's rules. This is the unsilly court. And then just walks off without explaining anything.
All right.
Can I insight that his abruptness? Like, is there a specific reason why he's abrupt?
Yeah.
Like
That's just his nature.
oh, okay.
That's just his nature.
Like it was like this whole you weren't doing it for a reason to hide something, or you were just doing it because that's you. So
Yeah, it's just he's not someone who just thinks that a detailed explanation is necessary.
I'll allow you to pick up this when I ask the question. It's almost like think of a missionary being out on his first mission across all these places, and he's never been anywhere, never really seen anything, and so he's trying to understand and learn. So he's not a screw up.
Yeah, I don't think Phelan understands that.
Okay. Okay.
You'll be fine. You won't die. It'll be fine.
Okay.
Just don't marry anybody.
So you guys start to follow the glowing lights. They flicker for a little bit before the next one, just outside the fog, appears. It feels like you walk for a very long time, but at the same time, not walking at all, as things seem to fly by as the miles melt away, as eventually you guys find yourself, the fog breaking. You see a large, brilliant chateau, seemingly made of blue and green permafrost coming up, stuck between two ancient pine trees, the limbs shaved off up until the very tops, a turret of a world. You see this place as the lights flicker and fade. You see two large, what looks to be ogres, sort of leaning up against the doors. One of them has a large, what looks to be a corncob pipe, sort of dangling out of the side of its mouth, puffing on the tobacco. As they see you come out of the fog, the one raps the other one in the belly, the one who's smoking. Oi! Oi! Hey, who goes there? You stand before the unseelie court. What say you?
This is Phelan of the Sealy Court. A gift was accepted. We are here now.
A gift? Ah.
We were given a gift to show up and hear out the court. We accepted the gift, so we are here to hear the court. I don't understand why this is so complicated.
So, you're the one that, what's that for? The one the lady thinks can save us all. I'll believe that gibberish when I see it. That's alright. Things happen. Stranger things have happened. Look, we've been here for the past 3,000 years, I think, give or take.
No, that's not so long.
They say we've been on vacation, we hear the rumours say. So we haven't been seen in the world for quite some time. Bollocks is that?
Well, I don't know, you tell me.
First off, before you enter, we have but one rule here. No cold iron. No iron of any type. If you have any of it, you leave it in the box in the front. It'll be locked and you can retrieve it on your way out.
I'll turn to everyone. All right, everyone, iron has to go in the box. No exceptions. And I will be very stern. No exceptions at all.
You do know, Phelan, that this is a crime punishable by death, carrying iron, and especially into the courts of the Fae.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty.
So that's why I
Anyone
just
with
conveyed
any
to
of...
them. No exceptions at all.
Yep.
That's what I conveyed to them.
I'm not actually sure if I have
So-
any iron on me.
Same.
Yeah, would crossbow bolts and arrows,
Yes.
would those be made from steel or iron?
Being lower level gear that you got, probably iron.
Okay.
You will see Phelan, just to reiterate to everyone, he pulls out his mace and puts it in the box.
Chainmail.
If you have studded leather, any of the studs would be considered.
No, I have chainmail.
Any cooking gear, chainmail definitely.
Glaive.
Uh,
It is a higher quality item.
I think your glaive is magical.
yeah, your glaive is made of different stuffs.
Yeah.
My +1 scimitar is also. It was found in the same area.
So is mace and scale mail. What would scale mail be, steel or iron? I'll leave that up to the DM.
I would say it'd probably be iron, being low level gear
Okay.
when you first got in. What adventurers can reasonably afford.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
With
basically
my-
just gonna drop everything that I think is iron, which could be crossbow, bolts, arrows. I'm gonna keep my longbow with me. I'll put my scimitar in there.
Would
Like
my
basically anything that I
silvered
think.
would my silvered stuff be okay?
Yes, it just anything iron.
Okay.
Well, would it still
What-
be iron because it's silvered? It's only coated, right?
Oh, silvered, yes. If it's made of silver, it's okay. But if it's if it's silvered, no, absolutely, that is not a.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
I'm
about-
just gonna put it all in there. I might be.
Yep.
Fey crafted sword.
Fae crafted sword would definitely be okay because the Fae do not
Alright.
touch iron with a 10-foot pole.
Alrighty. Then I guess I'll chuck my chainmail in and leave my glaive and my short
Yeah,
sword. And
I put my studded leather in there.
lastly, I have one other thing I have to ask. The dagger of the pack,
The dagger.
which is the dagger, which is technically a rod of the Oathkeeper.
Oh no, you're good. That
Okay.
was thematically changed,
Right.
or denatured is a better word for it, for what happened to that dagger.
Okay, then I'll leave all my other like metal assorted items. Those are the things that kind of matter.
And the Fae the two ogres look at you and they're like, "You have our words, we will guard this with our lives. If you've received the gift, you have the air of hospitality to be in this place. Offer others no harm, and your hospitality will be in place. Pick a fight, or injure anyone, and your hospitality can be revoked, and the penalties will be severe. Is this agreeable? Here in this place."
Kind of want to ask Phelan something, but I can't. Alright, now you're back. I can ask the question.
Sorry. No, I was listening the whole
No.
time. Sorry.
You're
Go ahead.
fine. I'm aware that I have several things that I could take in, but should I take them in?
If it's cold iron, you leave it in the box.
It's
Period.
not cold iron, as I said. I could take it in.
Then it's not against the rule.
All
And
right.
Phelan, with that, spins around on his heel. Everything is agreed. We're good. Please show us to your matron or patron, whoever it is that gave us the invitation.
You guys will, while basically Telwyn's stripping off everything.
Agni too.
He puts on something that was rolled up in his pack. He's got like nice church clothes, so he's all decked up and done up, and he looks way different without all the armor and the Jabberwocky slime and whatever else he's gotten on him at this point. So he looks all kind of prim and proper at the moment. He whispers over, hoping Steve will clean up his beard and get the dirt and the like mush out of his beard.
It's actually kind of the same with Verne not wearing their studded leather. They put on the vestments of the Church of the Raven Queen because that's the only other stuff they have. So they're in vestments of a Temple of the Raven Queen.
I just put on my cold winter gear, cold weather gear. I do not give a shit about displaying anything about my deity. I just don't want to be cold.
So it takes roughly 10 minutes for this whole process because some of you are doffing some heavy armor, which does take some time to take off. Put it in the box carefully as to not ruin it. But after about 10 minutes, you see a very feline-looking creature padding up. This almost looks like a lynx or a mountain lion or bobcat, but almost 3 to 4 times the size. Not quite the size of a lion, but almost there.
Kitty!
As you yell out kitty, its eyes narrow. If you want to keep your hand, keep it to yourself. I will take any pets as willful aggressions against hospitality rules.
Okay, sorry.
I am a Grimalkin. And I have been appointed to be your guide to this place. Now please, follow me, and I will take you to my queen. As it turns abruptly and starts padding in, the doors of the chateau open wide before you. Looking in, you see sprites and fairies alight, small little things flitting up above the lights throughout the area, as this seems to be quite the almost Victorian age-esque mansion.
As we're going through, Phelan is giving light nods and bows to anyone that he sees of appropriate station to receive such.
Okay. You see plenty of fall and winter Eladrin. More winter Eladrin than fall. You see several very out of place spring and summer Eladrin, sort of looking either very sour or depressed that they've been here, or simply in servant roles. You see army of sprites flying about, flitting throughout, making sure lights are lit, cleaning up things as they go, any spills. You see individuals, creatures of various lineages, carrying trays of hors d'oeuvres and drinks all about this place. As they pass you, they offer you fluted glasses and little hand sandwiches and little
Of
just
course.
snacks.
I'm accepting the drinks and the sandwiches. Like, this is what.
Vita's jaw just drops at the sight of all of this, and he's super, super excited.
Yeah, this is at the same time otherworldly and over-the-top extravagant here. You hear ethereal, haunting music playing throughout the manor as you guys are walking through. You drink the fluted champagne, eat the hors d'oeuvres as the food in your belly, it makes you feel warm and full. The champagne almost bubbly and giddy at the same time with an edge of something more, a headiness to it that feels like it's cloying at the edges of your senses. You're taken through what seems to be an impossible layout throughout this place. At some points, you open a door and the staircase is going straight down as Grimalkin just sort of pads through and follows the floor. Some of you take a second and it weirds you out seeing just him walking straight down. But following through, you realize that it's the same. The layout of this place is a maze. Impossibly so. But after a while, you're brought into a room. The floor made of ice. You see a pool off to the far left, bubbling and churning, as you see different fae lounging about in the pool, almost like a hot tub. You see a band, the one you expect the music is coming from, sitting there playing their beautiful haunting melodies, stringed instruments going, and seem to be from a bygone era, made of master craftsmanship that has not been seen for centuries. Some of the instruments you can't even place, as they have not been in existence for centuries, as their knowledge and ability to play has been lost. This room is tiered, like the shelves of an iceberg coming up, each one about 3 to 4 feet above the next. Gentle yet icy stairs coming up on each end of the shelves up to the next shelf. And on the top of the 6th tier, you see one of the most hauntingly beautiful women you've ever seen in your life. Alabaster skin, pure, blonde, almost silver hair, eyebrows barely visible, with azure blue lips, almost that of a drowned corpse, the color of the lips. But her ethereal beauty and the sense of utter power that she portrays. She sits almost frustratedly in her throne. You see advisors flitting about as her lips are pursed shut. She sees you, and one of her eyebrows very delicately arches. She doesn't lift a hand. She doesn't even move from her spot to greet you. Grimalkin looks at you, nods, and pads off into elsewhere in the festivities. I have done my duty. You are here. Try not to die. As he pads off. You see an individual come clicking up to you. Comes from behind the throne. This individual has a swirling mask made of ice. A cane clicking on the ice as they approach. Vestments of finery all the way up their chest. Without removing the mask, which has no mouth holes, no eye holes, no nothing. It's just a swirl of ice. He looks at you. Welcome to the vacation home of the Unseelie Court. Queen Mab wishes you be welcome in her halls.
Valen will just raise the glass that he's currently holding.
It is not every day in which we have visitors of ability, as yourselves, and it is our absolute pleasure to host you here. I know that you have received the summons of our queen, and just so you know, I speak for her, as right now our queen is very angry, and if she were to murmur a word, I'm afraid everyone in this room would perish should they hear her voice. So for your protection, and ours, if I say something, assume it came straight from Mab herself, as she speaks through me as I am her vessel. We are very grateful that you have come here. My name, you may call me. As he sort of cocks his head to the side, pondering. Now, this is a thing I have not had to think of in quite some time. You may call me Klaus. Klaus. Klause, I believe is how it's spelled. The name has not been used in some time, but...
Well, Klaus, I would like you to extend my thanks to your queen for inviting us here and being such a gracious host.
It is our pleasure. I see that you have indebted yourself to us by participating in drinking our food and wine.
We have been given hospitality.
Yes, that you have.
As promised.
Yes, and I promise you for this, the food and drink are safe for mortals to eat. Normally, it is not so, but we knew we had guests coming, and I had them prepare accordingly. So, you. I know that you are here to stop and leave this place.
Well, we were given a gift of a dozen healing potions. We accepted the gift.
Yes?
And in return, we are here to carry out the Queen's proposition.
Yes. Your goals and my queen's goals are aligned. You wish to leave the Feywild, leave this place. Leave Sossal and this hellscape that it has become. My queen has not been able to leave herself. Her duties are elsewhere, and her children cannot be trusted to sit on her throne in her absence. And as he says this, she looks over to him. As you see his knees almost go a little weak. As she looks at him, almost you feel the palpable power of her stare.
I say nothing of the troublesome Fae that we have encountered up until this point.
Hey, Klaus?
Yes.
Are there any more of these, like, these little tiny crispy crab cakes? These things are amazing. I know Telwyn is absolutely loving these back here, and I have been force-feeding Telwyn as I've been eating and shoving in his face and me passing them back to him. Just something to break the little bit of tension for his accidental overshare, and then that's it.
Overshare. Did I miss something?
Well, I was assuming the way that when he shared that information about her children, I assumed that was an accidental overshare.
Oh, yes, for him, yes.
Yeah,
Uh,
so that was my way of,
yeah,
my character's way of like, hey, I'm just gonna add in a little bit of like, hey, do you have any more of these crispy crab cakes?
okay,
Pass it
okay.
out to my guy Telwyn back here. We love these.
I got it, yep. He nods slower than what you'd expect as he snaps his fingers as servants are brought more trays.
Perhaps we should go somewhere a little more private to discuss why we were asked to come here.
That we do not have to. You were brought here because we believe that you are our best hope to defeating the Dark Arts and escaping this place. These mists have trapped us here, and even one of our own has not been able to escape this place in centuries. However, it is not without purpose. It is not without hope. We, upon arriving here back before the cataclysm happened, we had made a pact with the Ranvius Darkheart, leader of this place, progenitor of all the evil that is in this land, the benevolent leader that everyone loves, or is forced to love. For he uses our glamour to enamor the people of this place. He has a powerful artifact that belongs to Winter, deep in his castle. This is one of the ways that the people love him here. They think he can do no wrong. But this is not always 100%, as some of you, as his mask shifts over to Telwyn, as well as Mab's gaze straight to you, Telwyn. As you
They're gonna look at me real quick because he's been feeding me, and I look like a chipmunk at this point. Big bushy red beard, and I look dumbfounded because he's talking about like a history that I've never been taught. And so it's like this chipmunk caught in the middle of eating with the what the fuck.
Some of you with heritage that goes back before the cataclysm, the true souls of this land, sometimes awaken. And as you feel Mab's gaze upon you, Telwyn, you feel as if all of winter is sitting upon your shoulders. You feel down to your marrow the icy cold that is that gaze. And it's almost hard to maintain your composure under that look.
Do I feel like if I insight this, do I feel like it's like a bitterness, or it's like an anger, or it's like it's something else?
It just seems like this is their attention on you, and this is how powerful this being is. That their gaze alone is enough to enact this power.
I'm gonna
Oh, go ahead.
swallow the crab cake and chipmunking and like get a little nervous and like think about my upbringing and why I was sheltered, and now I'm really concerned that there's something I really don't know.
Klaus sort of tilts the masked head to you. You, Teluin, do you know your ancestry?
I know very little. I know I've always lived here, but at a relatively young age, I was sent to the Temple of Sune, and I was taught to live a certain way and see the world a certain way, and learned basic studies through the temple, and never really saw a whole lot of life other than what was introduced there. I I know my family's been here for a long time, but I don't know a whole lot about it.
Your family has roots deeper than you know. And one would say that your family is the cause of the cataclysm here in these lands. Your ancestor was the catalyst. Aranvius shoved the key, the crystal he stole from Winter, deep into his chest at the moment of the betrayal. And through that betrayal, this place was pulled into its own hell. History remembers your ancestor as the one who betrayed Sossal, gave Sossal to the hands of the demons, and that Aramvius slew him in order to save his own hide and to save the land of Sossal. The other heroes that were in that land, not much is known of what has become to them yet. One says the one with the spear foot is Aramvius' monster, his enforcer that follows him and defends him with fervent glee. The others have been lost to time. Those in his group that triggered the cataclysm. But know that your ancestor was credited with the fall and the start of the cataclysm. However, this is wrongly laid on his shoulders.
In this, you guys will instantly see like a moment of like pure, it's like being told something you were lied to for like decades, and you hear the truth of something and you were just instantly angry, but it's more like a calm anger. It's not like, it's like thinking about it in the spectrum of things and like maybe why I was sheltered, and I'm really confused, but I'm really angry at the moment.
You have the anger of the ocean, not of a fire.
Vita will put a hand out on Tailwind's shoulder and just squeeze it in just camaraderie.
Yes, the one known as Doran Melwood. Does that name mean anything to you, child?
I'd heard it in the past, but it was nothing like this. I just heard it was like my great 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 grandmother's brother or whatever, and he was devout, and the kind of, I guess, religious pursuits were tied into my family. They believed in different things. The family kind of split off and started believing in specific things, and you guys would notice that like even in just my plain clothing you see the religious symbol of Sune, and I said this is where my mom's kind of descendants followed, and you notice probably the crimson red, reddish like darker red reddish brown hair that he has, and like I know a name, and I just know that he was a quiet and he was a good person, at least from the little bit that I found. But I've also heard the same thing, that he was the reason that Sossal fell into darkness, and I didn't want to believe it, but you only get what's told from, who writes the books.
The one who writes history is the one who is the victor.
That is actually very accurate, sir. So Klaus, so like, what do we need to do? Just need to go get this key. Got to shove it into Telwyn's chest. We got to put it in the Saranda's guy's chest, and then what? Everything goes back to normal. Just kill him with the key. What do you mean, like an actual chest?
So, what our goals here are twofold. Our main goal is to leave this place. For that, we have heard rumors from other explorers, other immigrants of the mist, that killing the heart, killing Aranvius, will lift the fog, the mists around this place for a time, giving those who live and reside in it time to escape this place before Aranvius himself reforms and the cycle repeats itself once more. This is our window to escape here. Killing Aranvius will allow us all safe passage out of here through the mists.
About something a little more permanent.
Permanent is not something that we know if we can do or not. As these planes of dread, as they are known in the multiverse, are controlled by beings much more powerful and old. And Mab does not look to him, doesn't look away from him, doesn't even show a reaction to this. Just an acceptance.
Numa, permanent may not be an option here. Could be getting Queen Mab and her court back to the rightful place is the best thing that we can do to restore balance.
If it's not permanent, isn't there still the risk that you could accidentally walk into a fog bank and still end up here?
This place is an ethereal prison for Aranvius, for his deeds in life. However, the jailers are not kind in who they capture when they capture their prey. All of the country of Sossal was taken with him when the cataclysm struck. And generations have come and go, living unawares that anything is different from what they used to know. As our second goal is to retrieve the artifact of winter, the glamour shroud that casts this place in a pall. Now this could be the key to getting to Aranvius. Might be the key to luring him out somewhere where you might be able to challenge him, as he will surely do anything to get that shroud back, as that is the source of his power. Without it, you could convince the masses of his darkness, of his impurities, maybe even incite something against him.
So if we do that, challenge this Saranvius guy, take a key, shove it in his chest, kill him, he goes boom, and then all of us can leave for a certain period of time before he reforms. We may or may not have to kill him again, I don't know.
The key was shoved into was shoved into
I'm
Telwyn's ancestor's chest.
I'm just assuming that as a character, I'm like,
Okay.
so we just gotta get a key, and we just gotta stab it with the other guy, and then we gotta unlock that chest by stabbing him in the heart. Cool. My question, though, and obviously she's extremely, extremely powerful. Uh, would she be able to take every single person that doesn't want to stay here when we all leave, or do we all need to be here? Or can she just go snap her fingers and we all disappear as soon as he's dead?
As soon as he is dispatched and we see the mist receding, we will be on the first boats out of here. We are on the sea of endless mists. And we will be leaving. How you escape is up to you. If you can find your way back here in time, you are more than welcome to ride home with us to the Feywild. However, wandering the mists, leaving this place, I believe on his demise you will find this place back in its proper geographic location in the real world. You might be able to simply just walk into Vasa or Damara or any of the neighboring countries to Sossal.
Just basically cross a border, and we're good to go.
Just leave before the fence comes back up. Imagine you are in an ornament that is to be put on a tree or a snow globe. You shake the globe, it rattles the cage inside. But if the globe was not there, everything inside would be able to leave.
Phelan just looks at him. No thanks.
No thanks.
If you can't guarantee us to leave with you, then why would we take all the risk? I appreciate your hospitality. We'll be going now.
As Phelan goes to walk away from me, you're gonna see like a look on Tellin's face you've never seen, and he's gonna get down on a knee, and he goes, "I vow to redeem my family and help you guys free, knowing the truth of what has been done." And he looks like he could just snap. And he turns and he gets up and he looks at you guys and he goes, "I'm sorry that whatever has transpired, my family is part of. I didn't truly know until this, and I thank Maeve. And I'm speaking in Sylvan when I make the vow, so Maeve and Klaus understand that I at least understand the
Yes.
And I just look like angry. Like normally he's pretty laid back, and now I'm just like angry, and I don't know how to deal with it.
Oh. I'm gonna hand him a crab cake.
He looks a little distraught, but this food is so amazing, and he thinks about the tales and how like elaborate the words could never describe what I'm getting to experience, and like distracts him for a second.
Phelan will lean down and whisper in his ear, "Don't let the Fae confuse you."
This is
There's a part of me, Phelan, and I'll say it in Sylvan, so like the conversations between us, that I've always felt like something was off. Why was I sent this? Why was this? I question things I don't understand. And the fact that like I was basically sent away young and there was no real reason, nothing was ever said. And now like some of this makes sense to me for some reason, some deep-rooted reason. The way this was spoken to me deep down inside makes me feel like this is true.
I want to whisper very closely to Telwyn so only that he hears. I'm going to say his true name. Telling, do not give to the Fae that has not been offered and cannot be taken back.
I vowed to redeem my family and help you guys leave. Whatever that takes. If it involves me tearing the heart from Aranvius myself, I will do it.
They aren't offering us to leave.
I don't want to leave.
They aren't offering these people salvation.
It's about my family's salvation. It's about maybe the hope that if he is gone and this is removed, it's a chance. Something. It is something more than I could possibly want.
They are only offering the chance for us to do the work for them. They leave, and the people here get nothing. Zero.
You
Your
hear
family name will not be cleared.
Klaus sort of clear his throat as you guys are still in an audience with the Queen of the Winter Fae. He's like, Telwyn, your vow is appreciated. And we might be able to make use of your services. However, we are not simply offering this as in a vacuum. We do offer power in return. We can offer magical artifacts. We also could ensure you have a home amongst the Fae, should things not go quite as well as you'd like. We also offer shelter from the storm of this place. Here you have a room prepared for you, should you need it. A place to safely rest and recuperate your losses. As they focus on you, Telwyn, Mab's eyes blaze into you. That was almost way too perfectly timed with that sound effect.
Right.
Klaus says, Mab also might have need of a skilled knight down the road. Our goals might align. However, feel free to go enjoy the party. Talk amongst yourselves. Think about our offer.
Well, the only problem with the offer is that you're offering it singly to one person and this person and this person. Meanwhile, I don't actually know how many people are here in Sossal. Meanwhile, there's like, 8,000 people back there that, once this shroud is gone, realize they don't want to be here anymore, and they don't really have a way of escape without some assistance. So I really don't see a problem with helping you out, but that's only if we help all these other people out, because we can't leave them here.
So
because you already said he's going to come back, and if he comes back, they're all trapped here, and it just starts all over again.
if you would like to help them out, recover the glamour shroud, that'll awaken them before you slay Aranvius. And you can rally them to however you'd like. Tell them to wait by the borders and leave when the shroud drops, or to fight for your cause. Give the people a chance to exercise that thing you mortals call free will, is it? We offer the ability of choice. The ability to allow others to choose for themselves. what goal they wish to accomplish. Now, you are dismissed. We will talk later. Enjoy the party. Help yourself to any of the refreshments, and you are free to stay here as long as you would like. As Mab sort of turns away from you guys, looking off into the distance, as Klaus nods as he sort of reclines up against the edge of the throne, a tableau. Mab looking one direction, him leaning on it, looking the other, as he just gently twirls his cane. As this is where we are going to take our intermission for the night. welcome back, everyone who's watching at home. Thank you for allowing us a brief respite. But you guys are dismissed and head back to the main party itself. You see the music is playing, the band doesn't seem to be taking any breaks, just playing on. You see the people in the hot tub down below, or the hot spring, lounging about. You see different foods and buffets and the different tiers and bars. Eladrins dance throughout the place, different fae. All sorts of mingling. And everything just seems to be either a shade of blue, green, purple, or white in this place. What would you guys like to do at this point? Would you like to talk amongst yourselves, experience different parts of the party?
That went into just right there. Once this guy, right now, he's not staying there. He's coming back. So we have to get everybody else that wants to.
Well,
But it won't matter if we kill him and you're like, well, I don't care about leaving you. I just want to get my redemption from my family. Just like, we don't leave. We're still going to be stuck with this guy.
Or worse.
I'll point back to the fact that people were already uniting because we found that the werewolves, they were uniting to try and attack him. And so I'm thinking when they're talking about taking the shroud back, this glamour shroud back, so people can truly see him for what he is, that maybe the people will stand for something more than just being here. And I can't dictate the life they want to live. The only thing I can do is try to put them in a position to better the life that they want. If that makes sense.
Stuck in this prison.
If it means that I have to spend my existence killing him over and over again, I will do it. Like, you're getting that reaction now because you're asking me in the current time frame, and I am still living even though my mouth is full of crab cakes.
He's got a little bit of crab cakes and the red beard.
I'm still angry.
Phelan is going to spend his time, actually he's going to wait on the DS a little bit longer than everybody else to give word of Klaus. And I'll type to the DM what he says to Klaus. And the rest of the time he is going to go around the different fae, especially the more noble, well-dressed ones, letting them know that they'll be taking a part of this journey to get them back to the Feywild, so whatever they have that they could lend to the party to ensure their return to the Feywild would be most appreciated.
So you start campaigning.
Like, yeah, various expensive spell components, magical weapons, magical armor, it's like whatever each one of them has that could contribute to them finally going home. And who are they to be so stingy at this point?
They've only been trapped for 3,000 years.
surely they would want to contribute to them being able to return home.
A lot that you get from them is like vague promises or the like, but mainly you get the feeling that you have to prove yourself first. You have to prove something that you are capable of doing this before they'll fully back you.
So I'd be like, what do we need to prove? Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up right now.
Oh no, that was out of character. That was just so.
You get the feeling that they just want something done to prove that you have some sort of alliance to the court, something that would prove that you're not in it for just yourself, that you're
I mean,
you're immortal to them. You're not an immortal fae where they have the time to wait for the next batch of heroes. They need to prove that you're actually that heroes. You're capable.
so many so delved into storybooks. Very well.
Shoot some apples off somebody's head. And that might
Say that again?
I said, do you want me to shoot some apples off of someone's head? That might be capable. Tell them what's standing for them.
And as you guys are sitting there talking, a sort of a grizzled, middle-aged looking human in sort of white furs and leathers just sort of approaches you guys. We see almost a feral gleam in his eyes. He's got sort of long, sort of jagged ears. So, you finally got here. The fabled group of heroes that the Queen of the Fae wanted. As you tell very quickly, he is highly inebriated.
Does he give off, from your description, does he give off lycanthropy vibes to me?
No.
Okay. Just checking.
As you notice his hands on the glass of the fluted champagne that he has, where his fingers are touching the glass are frosting over. And as he talks, you see his breath comes out in cold puffs. Ah! I'd almost bet my hoard that you'll fail.
Verne,
Hmm.
would you like to dance?
You see Verne's face go a bit red for a
And
second.
Vita will gently lead Verde off into the dance floor to avoid this person.
Verne is not arguing. Not at all.
So you guys go off to dance as the individual who can approach you just sort of puts his arm. What? Am I chopped meat?
Trust me, he's a better dancer than he is a ranger.
Verne is too flustered to even notice that was said.
If I was able to get to my hoard right now, I'd have a thing to... As he just walks away flustered. As you see, the shadow he puts off is much larger than the man that he is.
I'm gonna turn around and very quietly say,
Oh, Phelan's not there. Phelan's cruising around,
Oh, that's right. You're not.
trying to drum up support.
Well, then I'm looking at Agni and I'm looking at Telwyn like that was the fucking dragon. That was the dragon.
What? Dragon? Cool.
That guy that was the white dragon, the one we're supposed to like get a thing on. That was that. That's what was
Oh,
talking about word.
do you think he will dance with me? That sounds fun.
I would recommend that.
But we're at a party. Everybody likes to dance at a party.
Did you not see what his hands did to the glass with the freezing?
Oh,
Shoot.
no, I didn't see that.
She was AFK for a minute.
Oh,
I was.
oh, well, that's okay. But so see, Telwyn, you know you want to keep the dragon.
I look at you for a second, and you've noticed that, like, in the couple of minutes I went and cleaned myself up, and I'm speaking to people around us, and you turn around and you talk to me about killing a dragon, and I kind of look at you, and I'm like, I give you this look like smiling and nodding, like, yeah, without saying anything.
And then I'm just gonna shove crab cake.
You guys, that's a party foul.
And then I'll wait for Phelan because I mean I know he wants to get dragon. So
I'll kind of like take this with a grain of salt and cough for a second because I just got done cleaning up from like chipmunking these things. And I'll like look around and make sure it's not in my beard, and I'll point to make sure I look all right. And I'll look around at the people that are kind of the fae or whatever around us and speak in Sylvan and ask if one of them would teach me a song and a dance of their court.
So you see a young Eladrin woman, well, seemingly young. She smiles at you sweetly. I think I can manage something. As she sort of twirls to the band on one of the tiers and whispers something to the conductor. As the song ends.
I give myself guidance because I could be really like too left-footed.
As the song ends, she tumbles back your way, her gown flowing and spinning the way she moves. As she comes to you with a smirk, puts her hand out, ready for you to hold it. She smiles as the band picks up a jaunty tune. Still eerie, still a bit cold, but with more emotion. As you guys start dancing, the air seems to freeze a bit around you. As she starts singing, as the song goes on. The lyrics are about a time long ago when the Seelie and the Unseelie weren't so different, weren't so far apart. Once they were friends, once they were together. Now, a vacuum, now a power struggle. The song involves a pair of lovers, one from the Seelie and one from the Unseelie. A forbidden romance with disastrous results. When the song ends, she smiles at you and nods.
And I'll take time when I'm done. I'll like nod and thank her. And in Sylvan, in a little bit awkwardly, can I roll some sort of check to see if I can even actually dance functionally?
Yeah, this was a performance check.
Told him not to do anything and accidentally get married. Does he listen to me?
He asked for something and offered nothing in return.
Accidentally get married? Are you implying something?
17 with guidance.
Alright, so you stumble every now and again, but she is very firm with her dance routine. She keeps you moving your feet in the right spot. A gentle nudge here, a twirl there. And you dance fairly well with her. She looks at you and smiles. A favor given. A request maybe later. To be taken as fair trade.
Vita, seeing some of this, would go, he should really be careful. I've seen that face on my mother before, and it is never a good look for the guy she's dancing with.
I'll just smile and nod because, like,
So,
I only know the tales and a little bit of things that, and like, I don't see a harm in it.
Vita, I have to ask, are you saying that when you're dancing with Verne?
Yep.
Okay. I need to roll to see if Verne's actually fully paying attention. Well,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
Actually, yes.
I assume that
Verne
Vita's
is
leading
coherent
because,
now.
yeah, he does not.
You can tell that Verne is very flustered right now.
That, and also I assume that they are not skilled in dancing, and Vita has danced for most of her life, so
Verne
she'll
is
be
not
leading.
much of a dancer.
So, as you guys are finishing up your dance, Vita, you and Verne come back to the side off the dance floor as the song ends. And a woman of astonishing beauty approaches you both. You see, she doesn't seem to look very cold like the rest of these people here. She seems to have some sort of inner fire to her, as the ground around her seems almost a bit wet, as her bare feet touch the ground, as the ice floor seems to melt under her feet. You see, her dress isn't that of white or red or white or blues or greens, but hers is a soft pink into a darker crimson red. She smiles at you, Vita. Oh, I seen you dancing across the floor. You have quite the talent there, young missus. I also sense something on you that is not too far away from where I hail from, and it feels like home.
I'm sorry, I have no idea what you might be speaking of.
She smiles knowingly. We all have friends in high places.
So how do you contact your friends?
Well, that's the problem, is I've been here for so long I have not been able to contact my dear oldest friend. I do miss them deeply.
As one does when you have friends. But if you don't know how to contact your friends, I surely don't know either.
She sort of nods, and it could have just been a hunch. You just had the scent of familiarity to you. Something that I have not witnessed in quite some time. You dance wonderfully. As she nods, and she looks to she nods to Verne. You
And
dance
together.
You dance admirably for someone who clearly has no skill. With a smile, she giggles that. Enjoy the party, my friends. As she twirls off into the dance floor.
Watch out who you dance with. You might end up in another situation like poor Tilwyn.
By the way, Vita, and then Agni's just going to point out the girl who Telwyn danced with. I am not making that one a bracelet.
Oh yeah, definitely. Agreed. But don't do anything.
Also, Vita, you look at Verne and get the sense that Verne doesn't plan on dancing with anybody.
Now we're even for you watching me dance.
Verne is not able to say anything at the moment. Verne is just...
You can tell Vita's joking on that one.
We have found that
It doesn't matter. Verne is flustered beyond words.
we have found the Ranger's weakness: social situations.
One of the Rangers. I mean, I've got a list of like 15 right now, so.
It's basically like the book of How to Be a Ranger.
And he's just doing the opposite.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I wasn't supposed to help with that.
Sorry for abandoning you to that drunkard. I honestly found this place to be quite beautiful, and the drunkard was kind of ruining the vibe for me.
He wasn't a drunkard. He's a dragon.
A drunk dragon?
Still a dragon. The white
Yes.
dragon. The white.
Oh,
Oh.
interesting. Still drunk. Kind of ruining the moment for me, because this is
All right.
beautiful. Sort of like seeing a drunk piss in the middle of a palace.
And as you say that, you get your gaze sort of gets drawn to a commotion that's going off in the side of the hall, as you see the man that came up getting forcibly removed by a group of incredibly dangerous-looking fae for doing just that.
See? But here's a better question. Shouldn't the dragon be, like, not here?
Well, he was talking about if he had access to his horde. He kept saying, if I had my horde, it would be something. If I had my horde, I was going to bet it against you guys. And if I had my horde, he kept saying it. I wasn't quite following along. And then I realized that he was a dragon.
I thought he was saying whore the whole time. I was so confused.
Oh no, there was definitely a D at the end. There's a
I just
hard-
figured you wanted to shoot him and take his stuff, but I wasn't. When he said horde, I was thinking like a pile of stuff. But
A pile of whores. Exactly.
That can technically be a horde.
It could.
Getting the no, that's a harem, and you're forgetting the hard D.
How could I forget the hard D?
I don't know. But they talk about love in a whole different light at my temple. I don't know about y'all, but yeah.
You would
We can't
think
take him to a harem.
you would think that temple would be more open to all concepts of love.
You would think, huh? Well, Agni's getting kind of bored because literally nobody has asked her to dance yet. So she's just going to go out to the middle of the dance floor and dance by herself. Kind of like Olaf dancing in the snow when he's singing about how happy he'll be in the summertime. But like, yeah. So Agni's just like looking up to the sky, whatever's up there, imagining the sky of her home, and like reaching towards the sunlight and the bright lights and just like twirling around in circles.
And as you do that, Agni, after a while, you hear a very familiar voice. May I offer you a dance, my dear? As it's Klaus.
Out of character. Klaus is the one I called Kitty, right?
He's the one with the swirling mask.
Oh, okay. Yeah, what could possibly go wrong? I'll definitely dance with this dude.
As he sort of, you see him twirl his cane once, and the cane disappears into midair as he gives you a courtly bow and offers his hand. The song picks up as you have a dance. Midway through the dance, he leans in. By your ear, his mask is still up over his face. You cannot make out any of his features. He tells you, there is someone for you to search out, to start your search. This comes from the Queen herself. Find the hermit with the clockwork heart. They have lived the centuries and might be able to help you find a way to track the glamour shroud.
Interesting. Thank you very much for the information.
I don't
This
know
guy
what
seems really cool, like kind of steampunk, but very cool.
as he bows to you and sort of tilts his head. And as he bows, as he tilts his head, you see a brief glimmer underneath the mask. Ever so slightly. As the light hits the ice and the swirling mask just right. And you almost see one giant gaping maw full of rows and rows upon rows of teeth behind the mask. But as soon as you glimpse it, it's gone. As he raises himself up from his bow. Thank you for the dance, my dear.
Oh, of course, it was my pleasure. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Now I must go attend to my liege. We will call upon you at the end of this night to see what your decision might be. Go, I do believe you need to talk to your friends.
I do, yes. They're
That's-
very important to me.
And as you say that, he sort of nods as he clasps your wrist, your hand. And as he pulls his hands away, he looks away and disappears, almost melts back into the crowd. You look down.
I do not like the way he just grabbed my wrist or hand, but he better have fucking slipped me a note or something, because otherwise that's inappropriate touching, and I'm pretty sure that I told him to save room for Jesus.
As you look down at your wrist and where he touched you. God, I can't. God. Give me a second. All right.
Sorry.
Stop breaking the DM.
No, that was
I
actually.
live for it.
She's known me long enough to know that that's something that.
While you gather yourself, Vita's gonna look around just real quick for Unicorn. Just casual look.
So, we'll get to that in a second.
Cool.
But so you look down at your wrist there, Agni, as you almost see a blue ring around your wrist where he touched you. Seems to be a pulsing energy, almost like a bracelet of an aurora, and then it dissipates.
Aw, shit.
Vita, you're looking around for a unicorn, and you do know from your experiences that winter court unicorns are vastly different from summer and spring court unicorns. And looking around, you eventually see something down on one of the lowest tiers. Sort of, next to it what appears to be several different other fays of monstrous acclinations. As you see a chitinous thing, large armory plates going all about it with about 6 legs and claws instead of hoofs. You see one large twisted horn coming from the top, from its head. It's equine in shape, but that's about as far as the resemblances end. As its chitin is almost like the shade of that, like that almost oily color that flies are.
Vita would be excited enough that she would be clenching her teeth and sort of death grip Verde's hand. Of just like, oh my god.
As that happens, Verne goes, ow, 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 starts like tapping a wrist, ow, 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 ow.
Sorry. She'll let go, and still be sort of reaching for Verde's hand. It's a unicorn. It's a unicorn. It's not a summer or spring unicorn. It's a unicorn. It's a unicorn. It's a unicorn. And attempt to shake Verne for all Verne is worth.
So as you do this, I'm just getting Despicable Me vibes. The little girls from Despicable Me with the little plushy unicorn. Yeah. It's so fluffy I could die.
Yes.
As you see this thing, and as you see someone like come up to it and like give it like just a pat on the back, it just smashes its head straight into the dude, like taking him clean out.
Yeah.
Just seemed very ornery, very angry. As it stomps its feet, and just you see steam coming from its nostrils.
Vita loves this stuff even more. She just like almost she bites back a cheer at seeing the unicorn do this, just like, yes! It's so beautiful, Bernie. It's so beautiful.
I think you know what we need to make this unicorn. A friendship bracelet.
It will probably kill you, but I love it.
Well, no, we'll just give it to it like a ring toss. Yeah.
It might get insulted by that, but oh my gosh.
How to get murdered by a winter fae unicorn 101.
So I love this unicorn so much. Bernie, it's a unicorn. I think it's a unicorn.
As you guys
is like that friend that doesn't know how to respond. Is like, yes, it is.
As Phelan, your campaigning comes to an end, you sort of regroup with the rest of your friends.
I think at this point he's pretty drunk and probably talked to a few people. Like, he probably found like a group of people he knew and was like, oh my god, you're here, and was like just getting hammered.
Oddly enough, these are all the fae that your grandparents told you about. Like, you know of the names of the people that you met, but you've never met any of them. You've only heard tales of them from the distant past. Fae that have all vanished mysteriously.
So I was sitting around getting drunk, hearing stories about my grandpa.
Yep.
Grandma.
And you find some salacious rumors about them.
Sounds about right. I always suspected.
But after a while, you guys all reconvene to discuss the course of action.
We saw a unicorn.
I saw a really creepy glimpse of something. I'm not sure if it was real or if I just drank too much. But I'll explain like the little glimpse of like all the teeth and weirdness. But then I'll also tell them about the message with seeking out the hermit with the clockwork heart and all of that.
That's fine. I mean, as long as no one took any gift or anything or asked for, should be
I
fine.
I didn't willingly take a gift, but this dude, he fucking grabbed my wrist and I don't like it. No means no. And it like glowed this blue a little bit, and I think that it's magic. So I need to we need to check
Uh,
this out.
can I take a look at it now?
It's
What?
not on her wrist anymore. It faded as soon as you looked at it.
Would I have had any idea of what the hell he
Well,
did?
can I,
Like if
can I
it's
at
a
least,
spell?
if she's describing it, can I make like a Arcana check to see if I know what's going on?
You can try. I'm going to say this is going to be a disadvantage, though.
Disadvantage? Okay.
The dragon is here. Well, it was here. It just got kicked out.
For peeing on things.
Peed on things.
At disadvantage, that will be a dirty 20.
You're not exactly sure, but you would guess it's some sort of mark from the Winter Fae. What
Like
its purpose, you can't fathom.
Like a Gaius or something else?
You're not sure from it's without seeing it personally. Going off
Like an
of
ex-boyfriend stalking me sort of vibe. That's what I'm feeling. I don't know if that's accurate.
Can I just grab her wrist? Right where she pointed it was cast.
you see
Cast
lots of
Dispel
friendship.
magic.
You can, yeah.
Wait, are you asking me if you can grab my wrist? Because this is the problem we have.
As she's saying that, as you just grab her wrist and cast Dispel Magic. What level are you
Nobody
casting this at?
listen to our friend Henry Crabgrass. You have to ask for consent.
I'm going to
Exactly.
cast it at 3rd level.
Okay. You see a shimmer as the aurora comes back around her wrist and then fades away.
Like it's gone?
Maybe.
Okay, well, I didn't know if I needed to roll.
No, you're
or
good.
anything.
You're good.
Okay.
Watch it have been like something really good, and now it's gone.
Right.
But I don't know. You just never know.
That
Either
would be
way, he did not ask for consent first,
that would be a very Fae thing to happen.
right?
I look at Phelan when he's talking about this stuff, and I said, I apologize for 2 seconds. I said, I asked a couple of different people, and one person offered to teach me a song and a dance of the court.
Oh.
Because I wanted to understand, like, the culture. I wanted to understand, like, they talked about hospitality, so I wanted to understand how to properly appreciate it, I guess. Was that something that is wrong?
Tell him that's amazing.
She
What did you
also
offer in return?
I didn't offer anything that I'm aware of.
Well, you always offer something in return. Aware or not. You gave something. Well, good luck, chap. Claps him on the shoulder.
He's so
Told you not to do it.
so gonna be married. I'm telling you.
She was looking at him in a way that was like a cat with a mouse.
Who can you
Verne-
point out
Verne
who
almost gives Vita a
who you-
side eye,
who gave you the
wondering
dance?
if that was what was happening when they were dancing as well.
Tillin? Yeah.
Say that again, because I got cut off between.
Tillin, can you point out who you had that dance with?
Oh, I point her out real quick.
Would I have any idea who this is?
Roll me an insight.
Yeah.
Very summary.
Or actually, history. History.
Okay.
I would at least
15.
15? Uh, you get the feeling that she's at least very high nobility here. You don't know what tier, but definitely high nobility.
I'm just gonna walk over to her, give a deep bow.
Oh, hello, as
So-
she gives a curtsy in return.
So, what favor did the idiot human give you? I'm only asking because we are tasked with getting the court back to the Feywild. I want to make sure
Oh, nothing. I
we are not.
I was gonna. I told him a favor for a favor. I'd collect later tonight.
Well, just tonight. Nothing that will interfere with our mission to get the court back to the Feywild, I hope.
Oh, it shouldn't. He should be able to walk straight afterwards.
Make sure you show him an extra good time. I don't think he's ever had one.
Oh.
And I walk away.
we're gonna earn our rating this night.
Hey, she could be talking about just playing Limbo. You don't know. Your minds are going
they
there.
Could play board games. They could be playing board games.
They're going to take out an inkwell and some parchment, and they're going to dip their pen in the ink and then write some stuff, documents, you know.
He will do her taxes.
That's because taxes are real hard.
All right, moving on, as that was not completely.
Sorry.
That was completely. Doesn't help. I have Numa
what? We
up
didn't say
there,
anything
Mickey.
bad.
No, I completely above board. Just all the. You guys assumed where you wanted it to go.
I'm gonna go ahead and give the talk to Telwyn. You know, birds and the bees. Things happen between men and women.
Was there just a glitch at the Matrix?
He has no knowledge of any of this that is going on. He just knew that he promised that she did this for him, and she said, "On leaving, a favor for a favor. I'll collect later."
I'm referring to something someone just said in reference to the same three players in the last game we were playing together.
Yeah, I was laughing too. I got it.
Different characters involved, different game. I'm sorry.
He's
Yeah,
literally
Agni's
getting
gonna
talked
stay
all over again.
Agni's going to stay far away from this one and pretend to not know and not hear any of this.
All right. So, and that's what happens. You know, during that, don't be worried. Don't be scared. It just happens every once in a while like that. Just go.
I'm
Now,
gonna look at you and be like, they
No.
talk about all kinds of love in our temple, and like the look of like, I totally get how it works.
He's just gonna check on Agni.
Well, and then I'm gonna go into more detail on other things to do, and then once I feel that he is roundly, possibly scared, maybe a little intimidated, I'm gonna grab another last crab cake. I'm gonna shove it in his mouth and say, "Good luck, carb load," and I'm gonna walk away.
Carb load.
Drink plenty of water.
I'm gonna go find Phelan.
So, at this point, you guys are all. Agni or Vita, you said you check on Agni, so we'll pan over to that.
Agni, are you okay?
Distract me. Distract me. I can't even think about this right now.
Okay, she could just want his blood.
Oh my
So
god, she's gonna be really rough.
no. I, okay, I'm not helping. All right, so my mind is drawing a blank. This is not good.
I know. Okay, I have this really great plan for a friendship bracelet for Phelan. Okay, I'm gonna tell you all of the
Okay.
colors, okay? There's 12 colors, okay? Okay, so for the
12?
fall. Okay, but listen, it's really important.
I'm listening.
Okay,
I'm listening.
okay, very seasonal. There's 3 colors per season. So I've got the fall is like a green and a brown and an orange, and then I've got winter is like a dark blue, a light blue, and white, and then springtime are my 3 favorites. Like a light green, like the flower stems, and yellow and pink, like daisies and stuff. And then for summertime, I was thinking of bright red for like heat, and a really pretty, like deep blue for the sky and the waters. And then I was thinking of like kind of an orangish yellow, but I'm not sure if those 3 are really good together.
Oh
What do
no,
you
that
think?
sounds great. That sounds perfect. That sounds wonderful. A
Okay,
lot of work, but perfect.
yeah, I'm gonna get started right now.
Okay. Do you want to? She looks around kind of nervously and just goes, "Do you want help?" Just trying to help her friend.
Yes.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay.
I'm going to take
Deep
some
breaths.
deep breaths. Yeah, we'll do some breathing exercises together.
As you see that woman once more come up to Telwyn, a wine glass in hand, hands it to him, and then dances back off to the crowd.
Vita will block the sight of from Agni if at all possible.
This makes me happy because it makes the characters so uncomfortable. So after a little bit, you see Klaus at the front of the room. Your attention please, subjects of winter, dignitaries of other planes and places. Our Lady has a proclamation for all of you. He sort of looks at her for a moment and looks back to the crowd. We have decided to throw our dice in with a new group of heroes. To see if we cast them out upon the table of fate. Maybe they shall succeed where others have not. Whether they accept or not is irrelevant, as I think one day our goals will align the same. But with this, we'd like to hear what your official answers are. Our mighty heroes. As the a ethereal light pans over onto your group, Agni and Vita fervently making friendship bracelets. The rest of you guys sort of just standing out about in the area. What?
Phelan,
Verne is absolutely being a wallflower, by the way.
Phelan just starts looking at everyone drunkenly that he'd been talking to. See, you want us to prove ourselves. Queen Maeve just gave us the go-ahead.
And as you say Queen Maeve, Mab's face, her head turns right to you. And I need a Constitution saving throw as her icy glare comes straight to you. You know the queen of the Ice Fae right now is Maeve, where you're from.
Oh, that's the sibling.
That's
Oh,
her
shit.
daughter that's taken over the throne while she's been missing.
Constitution saving throw?
Yes.
21.
You freeze solid.
Hey, did you know if you're next to me, you get a +3? Did you take that into account?
I did not. That would
With the +3, that is just enough. You feel the permafrost build up around you, and you shake it off as the ice clamps or crashes to the floor. As you see Mab's gaze upon you.
And Phelan is like so drunk. Like he's like at that drunk that like you're not sure if he's gonna remember this tomorrow.
So, Klaus looks to your group. Apologies for that, but the Queen does not take name calling and false titles well. You addressed her as her daughter, not with the proper respect that she deserves. You discussed Princess Maeve, Maiden of Ice, and Maiden of Winter. Not Mother Mab, Queen of Air and Darkness. But that is of little consequence. What is your decisions, our friends, our mighty heroes, and what shall we call you?
Well, my name's Numa Essa. You can call me Numa. That there's the worst ranger you'll ever see. His name is Verne.
Enough! Not what your names are. What is your group's name, that we can sing your praise as you're out adventuring?
Oh, shit, we didn't decide on the band name.
Let's stand up at least so we're not in the middle of making bracelets.
Oh, right. I think we should call ourselves Friendship is Magic.
Not
No?
catchy.
That's
No?
a terrible name.
Oh,
My
Dang.
hand is gonna twitch at my bow like I want to grab it and just shoot somebody for that.
As
Twitches.
you see a smirk on Mab's face from the sudden spot that she put you in, with this, just a minor inconvenience. But Klaus is like, it is of no matter. What is your decision? Are you going to ally with us and receive some of our aid in doing this, or are you going to try doing this on your own? And from there, we cannot guarantee the safety from our numbers once you leave this place.
Phelan will look at her. Well, as long as we are given all we were promised, I don't see any reason why we should not ally ourselves. Unless anyone else has any thoughts.
I mean, just look at all the friends we've made here today. I think that this is meant to be.
I'll look at Phelan and I'll thank him for his light leading us to this moment. And maybe he was meant to be there in this moment for me because of this right now.
No, Telwyn, you don't give your thanks to me. You give it to Corellin herself.
I'm thinking
Whatever Corellin decides to be today.
Okay.
Summer rain.
Verne is specifically being very quiet because Verne was put on the spot as an introvert.
He's the worst ranger ever. I mean, honestly, you could just call us TBD.
To be decided is a very, very political approach. But it is something that does not have to be decided now. But take a 10-day and ponder upon it. Perhaps amongst yourselves outside of this place. DM's way of saying discuss it in the chat.
Right.
So, if you would like to do this, we will take your true names, starting with you, Phelan, to ensure that we may fulfill our end of the bargain and be able to find you whenever we need.
Laughing at all of you. I'm literally gonna turn around and just laugh at all of you. And
But
I
just take a
can't
seat.
do that.
I'm assuming they are giving me something to write in.
He's like, we will discuss this in private after the event to ensure
so
this. That way, these things are not given in public. As
In
he,
private, it's no problem.
yes, as you start thinking, Vita, you start trying to think about this, and that beautiful woman that was in the crowd earlier, that you talked to with the, that said you appeared like home. She comes out of the crowd with a deep courtly curtsy. Queen Mab, Heir of Darkness, this is a bit awkward. But this one has no true name to give. It was given long ago and is not allowed to be known by this one, except for those who hold the power for her. You know this and understand this. As you just see Mab's head incline a fraction. And Klaus sort of calls out. Some stories are understood while others are not. We will figure a way around this where a true name is not needed for you, Miss Vita, as we are aware of your situation.
Vita just sinks to her knees.
Thank you for
A
bringing
ball of
this.
stress.
Thank you for bringing this to our attention, Aurora, Princess of the Summer Court. As the woman curtsies and disappears back.
Verne is also going to step forward.
Before that happens, you said Aurora of the Summer Court. Was that who Tellen danced with, or someone else?
Aurora was the beauty that came out to talk to Vita that said she looked like home.
Okay,
Not the
so-
same person that danced with Telwyn.
Okay, so this is the first time Balin is noticing
Yes.
this person.
Yes.
Okay. Yep.
Thank you. I
got it.
wanted to ask that too.
I just wanted to clarify.
Verne is going to step forward and say, "Then I must humbly say that I myself cannot accept this request, but do not take that away from the party. I am not the only one to know my true name would be the one that I worship."
Yes.
As I give a very low bow, very humbly.
The Raven Queen, we are aware of her presence, as they were trying to scare away our will-o'-the-wisps when we sent them to find you. Your queen does not approve of you being here. She does not approve of us being here, or this place. She doesn't approve of much, really. If we had to be certain. We've had dealings with her in the past, and they've always gone amicably at best. Tepid at worst. But we understand your predicament. Same with Vida. We will ensure that if you'd like to work with us, that we can deal with this.
I
Just,
give a
just-
nod and another bow.
just know that our aid
Respectfully.
might be limited to you as well, due to your queen's inability to see us as equals.
Verne is going to give another respectful bow while holding their tongue and saying anything else.
Just
All
making
right.
sure- just making sure.
So, anyone else have any concerns about this? We'll be wrapping up the party soon. You will find quarters suitable for your accommodations, and we will be speaking on the morrow about what assistance we will give you and what we can.
Phelan is probably in the corner talking with whomever about the difference between power of attorney and limited power of attorney when it comes to true names and what can and can't be done, and how he expects a very precise contract on the morrow.
Yeah, I definitely want to talk to Phelan before I say much to them.
I also will mention to the group, because now I feel incredibly put on the spot. I can't because of my patron. That's why.
Verne is going to put a hand on your shoulder, Vida, and say, "We can talk about it more in private."
I know, I just wanted to mention it because I know how it comes across.
You know what? As your BFF, Vida, I just want to tell you that I love and accept you for who you are, and it's okay.
That has nothing to do with what I just said, but I love you too.
Well, Agni has no idea. She just wants to support you, and this is her way, you know?
Okay.
Blah blah blah. Lack of trust. Blah blah blah.
I'm gonna lean over
Have
and
fun.
talk to Phelan in his stupor as he goes in this like intellectual rant about law and order and a contract, and it'd be like, I will take any of your guidance, even though I can tell he's probably 5 sheets to like intoxicated. I will take any of your guidance in these matters since you seem to understand, and I will thank him.
Right, of course. You already screwed up rule 1, but maybe we can keep you from screwing up rule number 2.
And I'm
We'll
like,
do this after breakfast. I'm.
but
Ooh,
I thought it was true to understand the customs as part of the hospitality.
right, right. And my acid told you earlier, take nothing, offer nothing. Anyways, well, good luck on whatever just happened. I don't know what that was, so enjoy. To be
I'll-
fair, it was not a major gift, so the take, everything has to be equal. So it can't be too bad for a dance. Unless, wait, which dance did you dance? Some of them are pretty important. So, I don't
I'll
know.
explain to him
Good luck.
like the song
Good
and
night.
the dance. And stumbles away. I'll just kind of nod and think about it.
Let him
I'll be-
go. If he pukes here, it might be a problem.
He's got. He can clean it up. Maybe we can get Steve. He'll clean it up.
Oh my.
I'll have,
Oh, don't make
I'll have
Steve do
Phelan,
that.
who's helping him into his room, and snuggling on his way alone to make sure he gets to eventually be able to just drink the food, and then just give it to him. Got this.
All right.
I'll
So,
give him the two astounding thumbs up.
so you guys are brought after a fashion outside of the manor, but into the outside courtyard where you find a carriage house that is off on the yard on the grounds. And this is a beautiful little cottage, and you are ushered inside as there's many rooms prepared for all of you. Common areas. This house is given to you for your time being here. As you were ushered there, you guys sort of pile into the living quarters, the main living room. You see, there's a large couch, several chairs. Does anyone fall right into the furniture when you get there? Like, just sort of sit down? Phelan, are you drunk enough where you just eat plush couch and just...
I think Phelan tries to find a more private room where it takes him a bit to get settled, but goes into his meditation / sleep.
Okay. So you wander off there. The guide who brought you here. This is just a, consider this a gift of the Winter Court, this house. This is your lodging while you are helping us. Anytime you need rest, this is yours. Please do with it as you wish.
Is there a way to like get here fast, or is this like
You'd have to travel back at the time for the time being, but there might be a way. Aid will be discussed on the morrow, they said. But have a good night. Take it easy. And he looks. The guide looks to you, Telwyn. You, however, you have to come with me. The mistress that you danced with tonight wishes to cash in her favor with you
Good luck, Tilwyn.
and requests your
Remember,
presence.
She can bite as hard as you think.
I'm just like confused by the statement, and I'm just gonna smile and nod, and I'm gonna turn around and if Newton's still in the room and give him the two thumbs up.
So remember what we talked about. Oh, stretch. Stretching is important.
Protection. They did offer a lot of aid.
Oh my god. So panning to that scene,
I'm half tempted to cast Bless on Telwyn before he goes.
I would like to cast Calm Emotions on him before he leaves.
I would like to cast Death Ward on him.
If this becomes an actual problem, it might be good to have all of it. So cast Bless.
You know what? Yeah. I'll
I mean,
cast
most
Bless.
of they're only
We're
gonna last
assuming.
a minute, so
Death ward lasts for 8 hours. So.
yeah, Death Wards actually might be useful in this situation.
Yeah, we are him alone. I mean, regardless, he should be warded.
You don't want an accidental smell ring.
so
Oh wait, no. Better yet, I will cast Magic Aura on him. Just to make him feel like
you're making them the apples
All
again
the-
from
all
the
the-
field.
all the magical auras that are around in this area, I want him to blend in.
Okay.
So he doesn't quite seem so human.
Okay. Telwyn, you are ushered back to the main area into a suite of apartments that are in the manor. As the door is opened for you, you see the woman once again. She smiles at you, wearing her night clothes. She looks at you. A favor for a favor. The favor I request from you is I want you to educate me on Sune. It might be a while that we're sitting here, and I'm sorry I don't have the most comfortable chairs.
I'm gonna look around at this room and like the thought of sharing my beliefs like with her is comforting enough. I wouldn't care if I was sitting on a rock. And let her kind of convey that emotion as she opens up, because like I was not sure with all this mixed things that people were saying to me going into this what was gonna happen. So like I'm smiling and nodding because it's like a huge part of how I was shaped as a person, and so I am more than happy to sit next to her and share these and like pull out the canon I've written in and show her.
I'm sorry. That was sorry.
No, you're fine.
I was not expecting the whole hand movement and everything.
Yeah. No, that whole and it just kind of go into detail about it, and then that little blurb that I wrote that kind of was the basis for what I was taught about being the light and about beauty and finding the beauty in all things, and like her core belief structure and stuff like that. And I won't lie, seriously had me on the way thinking of like it was Geralt and Yennefer in the bathtub moment, and I was totally all for it. I was like, yeah, but this is just as good.
Well, as the door shuts and the night goes on, who's to say that doesn't still happen? But we'll let the minds of everyone involved figure that out themselves, as I am not going to direct.
No, I'm not gonna go into detail either. I just was sharing like the vision
Yep.
I had. That's all.
Absolutely.
Cue in music for full rest.
Yes, as you guys do get the full rest.
So this is a question that's going to come out awkward no matter what. So I'm just gonna ask it. What is the sleeping situation?
Everyone has their own room, if they would like,
Okay.
in this place.
Because what I don't think anyone has noticed is that Vita has not slept alone since what happened with Chi-Chi at all. She has never slept alone. And in this case,
I would have noticed because we always room together.
yeah, she just never, ever. But I think in this one time, she would look to Agni and go, I need to bunk down with Bernie tonight. But it's not for that reason.
Oh, it's totally. I support
It's
you.
not for that. It's not.
Right, of course it's not for that
just-
reason. It's totally fine. No, I'm good. You go ahead.
My question is would Verne have overheard
Yes, this is
that?
happening in front of Bernie.
Okay.
Bernie, you know why.
Verne does know why, does
Yeah,
not
you
stop
do.
the red from going into Bernie's face.
Vita will kind of kick Bernie's leg, just like, stop.
Before Phelan
Really?
goes to sleep, he casts Arcanist Eye. I'm kidding. I'm not.
Anyway.
Verne gives Vita a look of, I'm sorry, I can't help it when my face gets red.
Alright, well, let's just go do this.
Agni just winks at Vita.
Saying things
Smile.
like that does not helps.
Yep. No, it does. It
Nothing
really
is going
does.
to help this situation. This is the same as when you were watching me dance. It's the same situation.
I'm just
Nothing is
soaking all
helping.
this in, and it's great.
And Vito will try once again to dance in the room.
Very nice. Very nice.
Hey, Verne, I hope you're a better cuddler than you are a ranger. And then I'm gonna walk.
Verne just flips Newman off.
All right.
Can I roll my performance check?
You can, yes.
Can I, if I ask Verne to turn around, can I get advantage for just a normal roll?
Verne will not watch if it makes you nervous.
I have a feeling it would still, so. Can I roll normal or can I roll?
You can roll normal if you'd like. This is, yeah.
Yay. Yes!
I love how terribly innocent and awkward some of your characters have acted this episode. It's been wonderful from a social interaction standpoint and character development. I love it.
22.
22. Awesome.
Gotta dance like nobody's watching.
You do. You dance like no one's watching.
And nobody is watching.
Well, someone better be watching. So, does my partner join the dance?
As you start to dance, you feel partway through, you feel someone's hands in yours, a hand on your hip, as the waltz that you were doing. You don't see them, but you feel them.
Oh, thank you. I'm so happy. Leah, can I tell them?
You get a sense of acceptance as the dance continues.
Have you been lying to me?
You get a sense of confusion.
That's good enough for me. Thank you for telling me the truth. Just one final question. Is the name what I think it is? That day in the market.
As I am trying to slam your backstory real quick in the chat to find that reference. Sorry about that. Yeah, if you can send it to me faster, that'll be...
I just did.
You get the... You do get the feeling that, yes, that was it.
Her expression sours a bit at that, but there's a bit of acceptance in the honesty of it as she sighs and says, "Thank you, brother. I always know I have you."
You get a sense of warmth, warmth warm acceptance wash over you as the dance finishes.
And with that, Vito will flop on the bed and go, oh.
Verne is going to very confused, like look over their shoulder and be like, "What? Just I don't understand what just happened."
I got what I needed. We don't have to
Okay.
worry about the other problem anymore. I can tell them if I want to.
Okay. Was there a reason that I needed to be here?
Yes, because for starters, I didn't want anybody to peep in and shoot him. I did not want anyone to shoot my brother. And we have a couple of people who like to hunt.
I mean, fair.
Kinda hard when your brother's a giant boa.
Okay, now I'm even more confused.
You've never ever heard of a found family or accepting someone as family.
I have, but I was not aware that that was your brother. I
Yes, Leah is my brother. He's also my patron.
and
He
also
met
was
me when I
Nate.
was 14, and he's real.
I mean, I don't doubt that he's real.
Well, at least you've got that going. It took my mother a while. Anywho, he's real, and that was Leah that I was talking to. I talk to him a lot. Most of the time, he doesn't respond.
I understand that. There's
Maybe you'll
definitely
see him
times
one
where
day.
well, maybe. There are definitely times I talk to the Raven Queen and hear nothing. So I understand when you don't get a response.
Doesn't mean she's not listening, though.
I know.
Trust me on that one. They're usually listening. If only for the
Verne
sake of their own vanity, and she grins a bit.
Verne lets out a small chuckle, holding one of the raven feathers, and says, I know. I know.
All right. So as this encounter ends, you guys go to... Anyone else have anything else they want to do tonight before...
I had wanted to speak with Phelan, but I guess he's probably already in his trance.
I mean,
Verne,
you have time to speak with me before that happens if you want.
Verne is also going to ask Vita if she needs someone to room with her, as they are willing to continue to stay in the room if she needs.
Yeah, she's gonna take Bernie up on that offer. Now your mind is someplace.
I just can't get over Numa's just pantomiming in the background. It's so funny.
It's almost interpretive dance. It's great.
Roll for performance. Anywho, okay.
So I wanted to speak with Phelan before they went into their trance about this whole, like, they want us to give our true names tomorrow, correct?
That was the ask, yes.
So, so, okay, so I heard what you said about, like, I don't know, it kind of sounded like certain levels of power for certain levels of name. I don't know. Like, the more you give them, the more power they have. Something like that. So I just wanted to kind of talk to you first because I don't know how much of my... Does it have to be my full true name, or can I give them a piece of it? I don't know how this works.
Well, what they're asking for is for us to enter into a contract. They want or need our true name for certain things. Now, we are dealing with our people, so we have to be very careful about what we tell them. And if we're going to enter into a contract, you have to know that giving your true name can come with stipulations if you want it to. What they can use it for, what they can't.
Ah, limitations. So I was thinking, because I really want for us to become friends, like more, because I know there's been a lot of drama in the group. It's been whatever. It is what it is. But um, I would like to entrust you with my name so that it's kind of like a backup protection plan, almost like insurance policy. So that if they try to F me over, maybe you can help me if you also have that power. I don't know. What do you think?
I would be honored.
Okay. I'm going to tell you my true name in chat privately.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Ken, before going to bed, Verne does pray to the Raven Queen.
okay.
Just because Verne feels like her influence is growing and wants to help her with that. So
All right.
he's just not expecting anything in return, just a standard prayer to the Raven Queen.
Okay. You should do that before bed, and you guys are all able to get a long rest. The next morning, you come down to the kitchen area, the living room area, as you guys start to get ready for the day, ready for your summons. As you guys are sitting there, all of a sudden you hear a cat's growl. As on the back of the couch, you see Grimalkin appear. Ah! I've been tasked escorting you back to take your oaths.
You would have noticed that in the morning, Phelan would have come down. Everything that he is wearing seems to be green from the leaves. His hair is back to being longer, brown, kind of kinky, mishewn. He is no longer looking like the ice-covered person that he was when he walked in here, and more like the person that you first met.
How do you always have time to make these costumes and change yourself?
He's back.
Costumes. That is the funniest thing I've heard in a long time.
What is so funny about it?
Just oh, you people, so hilarious.
All right. So with that, as you are getting ready to be summoned, this is where we end for the night. Thank you so much for playing, everyone. I'm going to end the stream here. You guys stay around after the stream ends for a second here. I got some stuff for some prep work for next session, some homework I'm giving you guys. So, all right, everyone, thank you for watching at home.